Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. We are in my trusty F-22 near the very, very bottom of the Italian peninsula. Not quite the tip of the boot, but, you know, getting there. Let's take a look ahead and talk about what's coming soon for the channel, at least once we get underway here. So, I'm back. More on this in a moment, but the channel was forced offline in late January, in case you missed that. Most of you didn't. And I want to begin just by saying thank you to the channel's community for your understanding, for your patience. It's really meant a lot to me. I will talk more about that in just a second, but just to get some of the smaller and yet most important stuff out of the way first, I'm moving. For the first time since 2017. That's one of the really big things that is going on at the moment. I'm expected to be fully moved by the end of May, and fully settled by the end of June. This coastline is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to get distracted a lot while I record this. I'm just going to say this right now. That's going to happen. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, by the way, for those of you curious. So it's a much more detailed rendition of anywhere on Earth, really, but certainly more detailed than 2020 was. And the last time I did a look ahead, I was, I believe, in the Dark Star, talking about taking things to kind of half schedule on a more permanent basis. One of the many kind of adaptations that I've made over the course of 2024. So again, we'll talk about that in a moment, but I will be moving, and am still in the process of moving. I've been in the process of moving since November. Really, but again, it's the first time that I've moved since 2017, so we're going to have new recording space, we're going to have just more space, period, and I'm really looking forward to being able to get all of this kind of set up over there as soon as possible, and then just continue with that process kind of out of the way. So speaking of processes and things being difficult, what happened? Where have I been? For those of you who didn't see the posts, or who are maybe lurking a little bit more in the background, but noticed and are curious. So, my new computer, which I built last year, early last year, had an RTX, or has an RTX 4090. Less than 1 year after I installed it, it failed. That's what happened in late January. It took 8 to 10 days to ship each way. But one thing I haven't talked about as much is that on top of the graphics card failure, while trying to reinitialize that graphics card, I attempted a troubleshooting step in late January, which was meant to reset the graphics driver, which I think it did reset the graphics driver, but it also reset a lot more than just that, including my USB audio interface and all of the settings that I spent 2024 fine-tuning. And again, I'm moving right now and working. I started off 2023 as a full-time YouTuber, but I landed a dream job in mid-2023, and I've been adjusting to doing both ever since. So I need things to work, especially right now, like these last few months, and it gets rough when they break. When it rains, it pours, as the saying goes. So knowing my own kind of situation, I took more time than was needed to make sure everything was working. And I'm very glad I did now that I'm back, because I didn't force it. And thank you again for waiting on me, because it was really important that I be able to take that time and really feel that it was working again, feel that I could do things like this, either for a recording or for fun, and not worry about whether or not the video card was about to fail again or anything like that. And in case you're curious, I don't specifically know what in the video card failed. All I know is I had to RMA it. It took about 8 to 10 days each way. It was with them for about 8 to 10 days. So it was a whole thing. Glad it's over. and it seems to be working fine. It definitely wasn't a heat-related failure of any kind, so nothing needed to be completely rebuilt or totally replaced. It's not a new card. They sent me my old one back, but that's the situation. Again, thank you all for your understanding and your patience, because I know I was gone for a while there. So all that being said, this is a look ahead, right? Not a look behind. What are we doing? What's the plan? Against All Odds Season 8 has resumed. That's every other day at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, Standard Time at the moment. We are also streaming every Sunday and or Thursday. The current stream is Marvel's Midnight Suns, which we just kicked off this last Sunday. The VOD has been available since Sunday evening or Sunday night or so if you missed it, but we will be continuing that this Thursday for our evening stream. So I know for European viewers that's a little bit tougher to make the evening streams on Thursday, just given the time difference, but the VOD will be up later that night, same as with streams on just in general, as usual. And then we will also most likely have another stream on Sunday. So streams in general on the channel, if you haven't been to one yet, our focus for streams is not so much to play a lot of the games that are newest and greatest and that are, that everyone is streaming, quote unquote. It's more about how do we find experiences together as a community that we can enjoy, that are really compelling narrative experiences, that are fun, that are cozy, that will take the community that's already gathered here over the last almost 10 years and just give us some really fun vibes to hang out around. That's really the aim of streaming. So the streaming is really for the community that exists and that's been here all along, rather than something that's specifically targeted at growing it. Not that it can't grow it. I think one thing we will be thinking about in the future, and I've talked about this a little bit, especially since there were some issues with stream elements during our first several streams. Stream elements specifically on YouTube's side. One of the things that I have openly kind of talked about is, well, okay, what about Twitch? What about co-streaming between YouTube and Twitch? For the record, I'm always going to be a YouTuber first. Like, that's just... I can't not be a YouTuber. My entire audience is here. So don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I have no plans, especially once I'm done with the move. If I have any plans, it's just to increase what I do here. But, Twitch was looking like a pretty viable alternative for a bit there while Stream Elements wasn't working. Thankfully, those issues have been resolved. If you didn't see that during the Midnight Suns stream, that was a really nice sort of step in the right direction, so streams now work more like they should have. Thank you again to everyone who came and made the Sunday stream such a good time. There was a lot of generosity, a lot of shenanigans, and I think Midnight Suns is off to a really good start as well. So if you want to know more about that game, check out the VOD, check out the description. I got that updated, I believe, yesterday morning. So should be there for you to read and click around and enjoy. And again, feel free to show up on Thursday and or Sunday if you want to see more of the streams in person. Oh, I know where we are. I know exactly where we are. So as far as other YouTube series, what else is coming soon? We have on the docket very soon a new series in Dyson Sphere program coming up. Hang on, this is very important. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Hold on, everything stops. This is important. I know where we are. There it is. That, for those of you who haven't seen me fly to it before, that is the ruins of Pompeii, which means this is Vesuvius. Quick little tour in the middle of our look ahead. Hope you don't mind. So yeah, Dyson Sphere Program is going to be our next series. That's a game that I haven't played since early 2023. Well, I played it for like most of 2023, but I haven't played it since then. Well, I've played it, but I haven't made a series in it. And a lot has changed, so I'm really looking forward to diving back into that. I was going to bring Stellaris back next. I might have even mentioned that in a previous video or two, but Stellaris has this massive 4.0 patch, like right on the cusp of coming out. So since I haven't played Stellaris a lot recently, on or off the channel, I want to give myself a chance to fully familiarize myself with all of that and make sure that I'm ready to go before we create more content in Stellaris. But that is very, very close to the top of the list as well. As far as other games that folks have mentioned they're looking forward to seeing continue, Crusader Kings will return as soon as possible after those other priorities are kind of underway. And then some other folks have asked me about Civilization. Now, this is one that I almost want to save for the AMA, which we'll talk about in just a second. But I guess one thing that I'll say is that for Civilization, what I'm planning to do at the moment is continue the meta series that I started in 2023 as soon as I can. And that's going to be in Civilization 6, not 7 for the time being. I don't have any plans to cover Civilization content in Civilization 7 at the moment, but that's not saying that I never will. I just don't at the moment. So again, if you have a question about that, then that can be something for the AMA if you'd like. And I'm also happy to answer that in comments if you don't want to dedicate an AMA slot to that. So speaking of that, I guess one other game I should mention, because there's so much nostalgia in this and it made me so happy to kind of hear about this. Those of you who have been here for a very long time might remember that after Rome 2 Total War, which was the very first game I played on this channel, The Long Dark was the third game. The second game was a little game pre-Surviving Mars called Planet Base. Well, Planet Base 2 has been announced. Yeah. I was beside myself when I saw that news. Just because not only did I really enjoy Planet Base when I played it, but it just has such a nostalgic link to the birth of the channel. And later this year, we will be celebrating the channel's 10-year anniversary. So that's a big deal that one of our original games that we played is getting a sequel. And hey, Long Dark's getting a sequel too. We're not going to hear more about that until next year, but still, we have a lot of good stuff coming up right around the corner. So that's just a little bit of a taste of what I'm thinking for not only what I have going at the moment, but as I move my hand in front of my eye detector. Sorry about that. That's just a little bit of a taste of what I have kind of around the corner. So as far as this AMA that I've mentioned a few times, let me go ahead and talk about this, and then we will wrap up the look ahead for the day. I hope you've enjoyed the view while I've been talking, by the way. Always enjoy this particular flight just up the coast of Italy. Absolutely gorgeous, whether in a jet or just a prop plane, because it doesn't get old. It doesn't get old. Just look at that. This is live weather, by the way. Don't the clouds look great? Let's go up high. So for the AMA, this is something I've wanted to do since I brought the channel back in early 2023. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I want to say, hey, I was gone for 2.5 years. Do you have questions? Like, that was basically the idea. Like, if you want to talk about it, like, I would love to actually have that conversation. Well, 2024 ended up being a more challenging transition year for me, again, mainly due to that new job, than I thought it was going to be. So now that the channel was forced offline by that video card failure for a few months and the sound issues and all of that, I thought this was a really good time just to go ahead and start with a look ahead and say, okay, let's go ahead and put out the AMA call. So if you have questions, you can leave them here in the comments. I will also be creating a temporary AMA channel in the Discord, and we'll take questions there. So if you're already in the Discord, if you want to come join us in the Discord, the link is down in the description and in the comments. So feel free to come join us. We just welcomed cohort 27, and it is growing slowly but surely as well, right now we're waiting on Probot to come back online, but that's neither here nor there. The Discord doesn't rely on Probot to function. We just can't have quite as much fun in certain ways without that. Like, people can't get promoted, which is really frustrating. So aside from that, Discord up and well. Discord has been running since mid 2023. We're actually this month celebrating we came up with the date for this, I think, during the stream on Sunday, but I don't remember it at this exact moment. But we're celebrating the 2-year anniversary of the Discord this month specifically. So it's just been an amazing community to have, and if you would like to join us over there, there will be an AMA channel created in order for you to submit those questions. So I think that's it. The purpose of the AMA really is just to, again, give people the opportunity to ask things about the channel, about games that I like, about me. Will I answer any question? I mean, you're saying ask me anything. Will I answer anything? I mean, no, there's privacy concerns and questions that I won't answer. So I will, filter the questions that I respond to, but I want people to feel like really open to asking, whatever's on their mind. So feel free to, ask like whatever you would like to. And if it's something I'm not willing to answer, then I just I won't answer it. But that's not something I'll hold against anyone here. So if you have any questions, again, leave them in the comments, leave them in the AMA channel in the Discord, and I look forward to seeing them. And with that being said, let me get a little bit lower to the ground here. Thank you for joining me for today's look ahead. It's been a while since I've done one of these. It's also been a while since I have flown this particular stretch of Italy. And this is the first time, again, that I've done this in Flight Simulator 2024 on the channel. So nice to enjoy these slightly upgraded, or significantly upgraded indeed, views with all of you. And by the way, we do have Flight Simulator streams on said Discord fairly regularly. So if this is up your alley, then that's just one more little bit of bait if you're interested in joining us over there. So that being said, without further ado, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along for early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges. Look for the join button. Comments are always welcome. Leave your thoughts below, or questions for the AMA for that matter. And I'll see you next time.